I'm Dr. Cait McMahon. I'm the Managing Director of Dart Centre Asia Pacific. We're a part of Columbia University's Dart Centre for Journalism and Trauma. I'm a psychologist and I've been working with the media profession for many years. Today, I would like to speak about managers and editors and chief of staff and your duty of care when looking after staff at this time. My first point is to know your staff and to make sure that you have their contact details of their loved ones, who to contact if something does happen to them. Now, this is often seen as an admin task, but it's actually an important psychological support task, because by making sure you have these details up to date, staff know that you are considering them as people, as human beings, that you're worried about their welfare, that you're concerned about their welfare and taking it seriously. My second point is to recognise that everyone's anxiety levels are at different levels at the moment. Distress is at different levels. Some people are faring fine at the moment, but some are not. And so when anxiety is high, then it's important to just give people a little bit of leeway, because people may be displaying things that you don't normally see with them. They might be a bit more testy when you ask them to meet a particular deadline or do a particular story. So just recognising in these times that sometimes people's emotions are more raw, and taking that into consideration when you're making assignments and giving assignments. My third point is about those that might be working in isolation at the moment. Now, freelancers have probably got this down pat because they've been doing this for a long time, but you may well have staff at the moment that have to be isolated and working from home. And a lot of newsrooms are closing and people are working from home. And again, some people fare well with that, especially introverts. But if you have extroverts that are potentially living on their own, not living with other people, it's important to not just check in with them work-wise and how they're going with a particular story, but checking out how they're faring emotionally. How are they coping at the moment? So lifting your level of humanity and just being considerate of those folks that are in isolation at the moment. Also, if you are assigning people out into the field and they are actually going to interview, not doing it remotely, then it's important to check in that people feel okay about going out into the field at the moment. Some people that have to wear face masks find that incredibly uncomfortable, not just physically, but for emotional reasons. Some people that have had severe trauma can't bear to have things on their face. So if you've got a staff member that doesn't feel comfortable going out into the field and disinfecting and wearing face masks, it's important to give them some leeway in that, because it may be connected to a personal history that you may know about but that you may not know about. So giving people a choice in terms of going out into the field at the moment is a really important thing. Now, sometimes I know that's really hard if you've got lean newsrooms and you don't have a lot of resources or other people to assign. But maybe it's about being creative about how the story can be done. And I think we're all thinking of new and creative ways at the moment to do our work in all sorts of ways. My final point is being a leader, being a manager, being a chief of staff, being an editor at the moment is really tough work. You're in a leadership position in very unusual circumstances, and that places a lot of strain and stress on you as well. So it's important that as leaders you check in with each other, you look after each other and you look after yourselves. To remember your self-care to yourself, but also to your peers in leadership, and checking in with each other is a really important thing at this moment. So these are my tips. If you want to know more about the Dart Centre, we have a lot of resources on our website at www.dartcentre.org, and you can spell centre either T-R-E or T-E-R, it accepts both. There's a lot of resources there on how to cover this pandemic, but there's a lot of resources at the moment about all sorts of trauma reporting. So please make use of those resources. They're free, they're there and available. The Dart Centre has been in existence for over 20 years, and our purpose is to bring journalists, media professionals, health professionals and researchers together to consider the topic of trauma as it relates to news gathering. We ensure that what we share and educate media professionals in is evidence-based and is science-based. We take pride in ensuring that our information is accurate and up to date. So please make use of our resources and please reach out to the Dart Centre if we can be of assistance in any other way.